Hello? Happy birthday, me. Wow! Thanks, chat. Hi, VOD viewers. And hi, chat. It's me, the birthday person. Or another year closer to the retirement home. Now let's just make sure this is working. Thank you, chat. Broken Hero. Is that an I or is that a U? Ayu? A U? Blue? I can't tell, I'm sorry. But thank you. Random person, appreciate it. I don't know if y'all are old enough to know what MapleStory is, but MapleStory was this MMORPG back in like the 2000s, right? Korean MMO. And it was like this 2D kind of side-scrolling fantasy MMORPG. Anyway, one of the strats in that MMORPG was that if you had a name that you wanted, obviously you couldn't share a nickname with other people. So if you wanted a particular name and it had an L in it or a capital I, those looked the same. So you could replace that letter with the other one. It also meant that, like, because you could track players, like, at their location, you could find them in the world by searching their name. It made it like, oh no, they did it. They used an I instead of an L. Good times, good times. Hey, David, thank you, thank you. Zukute, what's up? Happy birthday. Wish you the best with your channel. Thank you. We're already almost at 8,000. Didn't I just celebrate 5,000 like 2 months ago? We're kind of swimming up here. We're doing a good job. Which is funny because I released like 0 videos this past month. I'm very sorry. Yeah, Arnell's difficult. Try. I'll die. Bro, I literally can't tell which one's which. I literally cannot tell. Thank you for the hearts. I appreciate that. I see you. I see you. Festival! Wow! Thanks for the 14 Canadian dollars. First was I? Okay. I think the alert will show up. I think it's just slow. But I appreciate you. But yeah, what's up, chat? How's life? Have you seen the newest YouTube video? I assume you have. If you haven't, you should go watch it. Yeah, I slacked this month. I was I was busy. I was busy IRL. I guess it was still like about an episode a month, right? Or episode a week. Episode? A video a week? There it is. It only took, you know, it only took YouTube about 2 minutes to figure that one out. Thank you. So that's what 14 Canadian dollars is. $10.41. Do you remember me? I remember you. Is that, what is that? Is that a moon? Bro, I'll never forget all the people who told me not to forget them when I get oh, my eardrums. Why is everything so off about it? Why is the sound delayed? I'm gonna have to figure this stuff out. YouTube is weird. This is why it's streamed to Twitch. Come to the Twitch channel. It's a lot more figured out. I know what I'm doing. I don't understand how YouTube streaming works. There are just some weird things to it that don't feel optimized. But yeah, I mean, I wanted to release more videos this month, but just like, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything I wanted to do except for like projects that would take months. Why are you here then? Because, well, I want to celebrate my birthday. Come to Twitch. Twitch is good. I've been playing Sekiro on Twitch. You should come to, if you want to watch Sekiro, come to Twitch. I've been thinking about uploading my Twitch VODs to YouTube. That would give members something to actually watch since I never stream here. Hey, what's up, QAPR? Thanks for the birthdays. Appreciate it. Because if you don't know, you can become a member for like a $1 and then you get access to the VODs, but that's it, right? And I don't stream to Twitch, or I don't stream to YouTube, so you don't actually get many VODs to watch. So I was like, is this really even worth it? I mean, to be fair, I don't really want people to become a member per se, right? Like, you don't need to spend money. I don't care. So like, I was like, let's just give the members, if they do want to give me money, like some random benefit. Like, what's the least enticing but like still a real benefit I can give someone? And I was like, okay, well, that's probably just give them VOD access, right? But yeah, I mean, the Twitch VODs are always just up on Twitch for like the next 60 days or whatever. Like, I set it to whatever the longest I can keep a VOD is. So you can always just watch them on Twitch anyway. Not that my VODs are particularly interesting. Your drawing is so good. Gosh, the Ganyu, y'all see the Ganyu? That was super cute, right? I really liked how that Ganyu turned out. I was like, I was saying, because I was streaming this to Twitch. I was like, y'all, YouTube's gonna be like, what happened to Soran? Where's Yoimiya? Who took over the channel? I had to do it for the girl. Mary Jane, thank you. I appreciate it. I almost said you too. But if it is your birthday, you too. Yeah, Ganyu was the reason I started playing Genshin. This is the little known Soran fact. All of my friends were playing on like 1.0 release, blah blah blah. And I was like, bro, I'm in school and doing work. Like, I was working night shifts while going to school today. I was like, I don't have time for this nonsense. And then I think it was like Ganyu was announced for 1.1, and my winter break was coming up from school, and I was like, all right, you know what? I can no life this game. Let's play this game. I think it was like right around Dragonspine release. I don't remember the exact order of occurrences back then, but I think like Dragonspine was one of the first things I did in Genshin. And I spent so much time in Dragonspine. Oh my god, Dragonspine was like my life. Holy shit. That's why that's one of the few... Well, Mondstadt, you can tell I really liked Genshin when I first started playing, because Mondstadt is like the only region I have high exploration rates in. In most regions, I have like 20-30%. I like, don't get me wrong, I still like Genshin, but I just don't like open worlds. Cannon Kid, Squack, thank you. Cannon Kid, what's up? Welcome back. But yeah. No, I started playing Genshin for Ganyu. And Korean Ganyu, again, if you haven't, I don't know what language y'all play in. I know a lot of folks play in English. Obviously, a lot of people play in Japanese. I feel like the Chinese and Korean players outside of China and Korea are like rare, but bro, the Korean dub is very, very solid. And Korean Ganyu in particular is like... I could play a clip. Hold on. Let me play a clip of Korean Ganyu real quick for you. Because I just have one. Because I used it in a YouTube video once. Chat, you need to understand how incredibly beautiful Ganyu's voice is. Listen to this. This might be really loud. Hold on. Maybe this loud.
저와 이야기해줘서 고마워요. 당신을 만난 후 10여 년 동안 가장 말을 많이 한 것 같아요. 이렇게 훈련을 계속한다면 비서 외에 다른 직업에도 종사할 수 있겠어요?
Oh. Oh, it's so good. Oh, that's like the voice you want to fall asleep to. Oh, it's such a pretty voice. That's one of my minor grievances about Genshin, is that everybody just assumes that you play in Japanese, right? And so like they'll always, okay, let me rephrase that. Because I'm a weeb, right? Because I'm a weeb and all of my friends are weebs, everybody will always talk to me about like, oh, they got a new Seiyu, Japanese voice actor, for X and X new character. Like, oh my gosh, did you know Nahida is Tamara Yukari? And I'm like, what the fuck does that mean to me? Why would I care? Who the fuck cares? Bro, I ain't gonna switch to Japanese because Tamara Yukari's in it. If I'm gonna switch at any point, then, you know, it ain't gonna be that. I love Tamara Yukari, but there are a lot of really high profile Seiyu in Genshin, but I don't want to play in Japanese. Hey, what's up, Genshin freak? Yoimiya's voice in Japanese is cute. It's Ueda Kana, right? Is that her name? She's like the Kansai Ben. That is the one thing I'll give the Japanese dub, is that Yoimiya having Kansai Ben is canon. Like there's no arguing it. That is canon. That is so extremely canon. Hey, Coffee, the man, the legend, Coffee. Welcome back. Thank you. Number one Yoimiya main? I don't know. I got bro. Can I just say? By the way? Man, that YouTube video with the I solo cleared Spiral Abyss with Yoimiya to prove that she's broken. That was the first time the video reached like outside of our like small bubble, right? Like that was the video that reached all the meta folks, all the people who are like, ugh. Like, Yoimiya's like trashed here anyway. Why would you use Yoimiya when you can just use Hu Tao? Like, Yoimiya sucks compared to Hu Tao anyway. Like, even Xiangling is a better DPS than Yoimiya. Right? Like, this was the first time this video reached that kind of audience. And the comments were like, bro, Yoimiya's not broken. Broken-hearted, maybe, because nobody pulled her. I was like, bruh. Bruh thinks he's clever. Those YouTube comments were something. Holy shit. If you're ever like, man, I hate humans, just go look at that YouTube those comments and you'll be like, yeah. It's pretty funny. Happy birthday. Thank you. The way I pulled Yoimiya in this patch because of you, though, it's working, chat. It's working. Genshin does have a meta, but like you can like, okay, here's the thing about meta, right? Meta matters to the point where you need to use it to win, right? For instance, I play a lot of fighting games. Meta characters matter if you're in the competitive scene because the easier a character is to play and the easier it is to get the results you need, the better you can do in a tournament setting. Because if two characters can produce the same results, but one requires more effort than the other, that little bit of effort, or maybe that significant amount of effort, over the course of like a 10-hour tournament is going to be huge, right? Like your performance is going to drop like crazy. But if a character is easier to play and still produces the same results, like maybe the same amount of damage, or builds the same amount of meter, or whatever, then like you might as well use that character to make it easier for yourself so you have a better chance at winning the whole thing. Like, meta matters in a PvP competitive sense, or in the sense that there is like something that to the point that you need to achieve what you're trying to achieve. In Genshin, if your only goal is to 9-star clear floor 12, Yoimiya does that just fine. Like, who gives a fuck about meta? You can do 9-star clears with like literally any character if you're built well enough, you have the right team, and you're willing to grind it out. A Blueberry, thanks for the happy birthday. Quentin Dylan Blignout. I'm sorry if I butchered your name. I'm so sorry. It's working too well. I got Yoimiya this patch at 12 penny. Let's go! Congrats, Aya. Thing is, Genshin is an open world game. The goal is to have fun. Exactly, right? Like, just have fun. Now, because I found out you remember I'm triple crowning her. Alright. She deserves it. Queen deserves her crowns. I completed 412 with a Shinyan. So how do you use Shinyan? I just got my Shinyan to level 980 Ascension 6, whatever. I've just got her talents up to, I think they're at 688 now. I don't know. She's the one I was working on most recently. I think she's 688. What do you do with her? Someone should do a silly video clearing spot Abyss with every character. That was something. Okay, chat. This is something I want to do, and this was something I thought about streaming to Twitch. Is doing a challenge video where I have to use every character to beat Spiral, but I also can't reuse characters, right? So it'd be like a team building challenge of how could I actually clear Spiral with every single character, like trying to 3-star clear, right? Trying to 3-star clear with every single character, but I can't reuse the bait, like the super strong supports. Like it would probably be a point where it's like I use like my strong DPS characters to carry the bad characters. Like I'll just throw Yoimiya and then 3 random characters. Physical Shinyan? She's a physical character? I thought she was a pyro character. I just know she gives you a shield. And that she has like, her shield always crits or something? I don't know. I was vaguely reading her talents. Tried getting her on her first banner, but got Chi-Chi, then I got her on her most recent banner. She's finally here. Let's go! Let's go! Happy birthday, by the way. Thank you, Jonathan. I appreciate it. As a Lisa main, meta has never existed in my world. Also, I hope your birthday is going well. Thank you. I mean, Lisa got a huge buff with Dendro, right? Like Aggravate Lisa is like pretty good. But yeah, I have a lot of friends who are like dedicated Lisa mains. Like it's I don't know. I feel like it's just a thing. Like dedicated Lisa mains. I guess I was a dedicated Amber main. Back when I first started playing Genshin, chat, one of the first things I did was I stumbled across the electric cube, right? The electro cube in Mondstadt. I think I was level 2. And it was like a level 20 boss. I spent 1 hour in Discord on stream with my friends. I spent an entire hour fighting that with Amber. And I won. But I don't think I forget if I even collected the reward. But I did win after an entire hour. Karaoke stream was fun. I would like to do another karaoke stream, but it's just like it requires some setup, and I don't know if it's the most popular thing. So it's one of those things where it's like, is this worth the setup? I don't know. Pyrobow character equals Mr. Soran like. I do have every archer in the game. That is a thing I consciously do, is pull for every archer. Happy birthday. Thank you, Luma. I appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, you can tell because 3 of my top, I don't know what the top 5 are anymore, but 3 of my top 5 back in the day, my top 3 back in the day were Yoimiya, Ganyu, Amber. All 3 of them are archers. But yeah. I like archers. I play archers in like every game I possibly can. If anybody's a tabletop fan, if you like D&D, well, actually, I feel like most people who like D&D like 5e. Like that's what the introduction to D&D for most folks was. Y'all have it good in 5e, okay? 5th edition D&D, Rangers are like busted. After Unearthed Arcana, is that what it was called? Rangers got fucking disgusting. But y'all don't understand how horrific it was as a Pathfinder player. How terrible Rangers were. Unplayably bad. Drunk Sauron is hilarious. I've been playing Sekiro. I've been drinking a little sippy sip on the Twitch. How many times can I plug the Twitch before everybody kills me? So I did want to do like frequently asked questions, which maybe chat while I'm pulling up the one frequently asked question. There are probably a couple, but the one most frequently asked question. You can put some questions in the chat if you have any, but let me just answer the most frequently asked questions, which is, Sauron, what is your Yoimiya build? I've put it in multiple videos. I have put it in multiple videos, but I guess it just doesn't. Nobody's watched all of my videos, right? So let me just pull up my Yoimiya build so people can see it. I'm just gonna do this. Is this gonna work? Here you go. This is my Yoimiya build. There you go. The R5 is recent. The R5 is this patch. Or, well, last patch technically, 4.3. It was on her rerun. Have you tried a Yoimiya run using the free-to-play friendly weapon and team? Well, the thing about that is that it would be like people want to make a big deal out of it, but like it's the same thing, right? Like R5 Rust is basically the same as Thundering Pulse ER1, which I don't think people necessarily realize. It's almost exactly the same thing. Thundering Pulse is like very slightly better than R5 Rust. R5 Thundering Pulse is crazy. Like that's a different story. But like versus R5 Rust, R1 Thundering Pulse, it's pretty much the same. And I can't take away my constellations. The only thing that would be different is I change like my Yelan for Xingqiu. It's just like, I mean, is there really I mean, there is actually a significant difference with my Yelan, but I mean, Xingqiu is Xingqiu. I mean, it would be like me answering to the haters and being like, well, actually, you could just choose it. You could do this just as well with your teams. But like, I don't care. Anyone who's a real Yoimiya fan already knows that, right? Amliets, thank you. Hope you're having a good one. But yeah, that is the most frequently asked question. Sauron, what is your Yoimiya build? That's like the only question. Aside from like random things. Sometimes people ask me like, Sauron, would you want to do like build reviews and stuff like that? But like, I don't know enough about Genshin for that to be interesting. The only character I know anything about is Yoimiya. Like if I look at a build that isn't Yoimiya, I'm just like, I don't know. What am I supposed to be looking for? Like, I suck at this game, is what people need to realize. I'm so bad at this game. Which I think, if you watch Spiral Roulette, you can tell, right? Like, I don't really know what I'm doing with characters that aren't Yoimiya. What's your favorite dub ranking for Yoimiya? That's hard. I mean, for Yoimiya specifically? I mean, they're all good. So here's the thing about me is that I'm really bad at doing like tiers and stuff. My friends hate this about me. It's like, you know how there are character sorters? If you don't know what a character sorter is, it's when you take all the characters in like a given franchise. For instance, we could do a Genshin character sorter. And like, it'll give you 2 characters from that franchise. It'll be like Yoimiya, Ayaka. And you have to choose one, or you can choose a tie. My friends hate the fact that I'll choose tie and my fucking sorter. Because the idea is eventually it'll sort them from like character you like the most to character you like the least. By comparing 2 characters at a time, right? Like Yoimiya versus Ayaka. Yoimiya versus Raiden Shogun. Raiden Shogun versus... Who just subscribed to my Twitch? Who followed me on Twitch? Why does that alert play? Why did my Twitch alert play? Twas me? Well, thank you for following on Twitch. Why did that play? Stop! Thank you for following on Twitch. Where is that playing from? Huh. I don't know. Do I have to go through all of my overlays to figure out which one is freaking playing this? Thanks for following me on Twitch, whoever you are. Stop! Give me a second. Let me figure this out. Is this it? Is this what's playing this? Aha! Wait, hold on. Twitch alerts. Turn them off. Thanks for the follow on Twitch. Stop! Make it stop! Who's doing this? Oh my god. Maybe it'll shut up now. Where was I? What overlay was this? Oh god, I have too many. Is it this one? Okay, we're back. Oh my gosh, what was I talking about? Oh, Yoimiya voices, right? Yoimiya dubs. I think Japanese... I mean, Ueda Kana is just like one of those voices that if you watch a lot of anime, she's like, wow, that's Ueda Kana. I think it was a good... I mean, it's a great casting choice. Kansai Ben is really, like, I want to say she's number 1 just because she does the Kansai Ben. If you know what Kansai Ben is, it's the Kansai dialect. So, like, Yoimiya talks with a dialect in Japanese, which is hard to express, like, what that would sound like. It's not exactly, like... I think I've seen people translate Yoimiya as talking, like, southern. Like, talking with a country accent. Like, ain't nothing to it. Kind of shit. I'm like, no... But yeah, I would probably put that as number 1. Like Chinese and Korean are both just really good, so I'll put them both at 2. And I'm sorry, English. There are just some slight things about the English casting choice that I don't like about Yoimiya. But I really, really like her pew-pews. Who's your biggest Genshin Kin character you relate to the most? That's a good question. I like what... It makes me happy when the comments compare me to Yoimiya. I don't think that's actually true, though. I think in terms of characters I'm most like... Wanderer? Shao, maybe? Wanderer is like, are you mentally okay, Sauron? We can talk about it. I'm gonna remove this Yoimiya. I hope you've ingrained this into your brain. Chat, now that you've seen this, when you see the YouTube comment that's like, "Hey Soren, what's your Yoimiya build?" You can answer that question for me. And then I'll give your answer a heart. I don't remember what it was. Somebody answered a question for me. Oh, it was on the Spiral, the Yoimiya solo clear video. Somebody answered, "Why did you not use Yoimiya's burst for me?" I was like, "Thank you." I wasn't sure how to explain this, like, in a way that would make sense, but you did it really well. Because I was just gonna say, because her burst sucks. I was like, her burst is useless. Why would I use it? Yeah, character I kin the most though, probably Xiao. I think on YouTube it doesn't really come off that way, but like by nature I'm a very gloomy person. I'm like antisocial. I like hanging out in my room by myself. I don't really like talking to people very much. I get grumpy pretty easily. Like the reason I said Wanderer is because Wanderer is a cat, right? Like, that's what they compare him to. Like, I need someone like Nahida in my life, because I am a grumpy, antisocial cat. Soran emo arc. Hey, catch you in a bit, Coffee. Relatable, man. Yeah. That's something I've been working on consciously throughout my life, like trying to be less of a pouty loser, but it's hard. It's hard. How'd you choose your name? So Soran... Okay, do not look this up, chat. I swear to God, don't look this up. So Soran comes from back when I used to write Pokemon fanfiction. No! I used to write Pokemon fanfiction back in the day on fanfiction.net. Are you old enough to even know what fanfiction.net, chat? Do you know what that is? I feel like a lot of my viewers and a lot of my subscribers are like younger than 20. Which, I mean, I'm not that much older than 20, but I feel a lot older than 20. But yeah, anyway, so I used to write Pokemon fanfiction when I was like 10. And Soran was a name I coined for the main character's main Pokemon, Eevee, who would later become an Espeon, but I don't think I ever wrote that far. But Soran was a name that came from Sora, meaning sky, and Oron, like the Oron berry in Pokemon, which is the one that, like the blue-orange that heals you for 10 health. Blue-orange sounds like an oxymoron, but like I swear, it's an orange that is colored blue. That is why it's called an Oran, right? Anyway, so yeah, he befriended that Eevee by feeding it an Oran berry that fell from the sky. So, Soran. That's where the name comes from. Bro and bro turned 20. Old grandpa. Yeah. That's where the name comes from. I think I clickbait a lot of people into thinking I'm a woman. Like, oh, Soran-chan, that's such a feminine name. I was playing on PSN, or PS Plus, or whatever it's called now. I was playing Dragon Ball FighterZ online, right? And like, I smoked someone in ranked, and they messaged me on PlayStation, like, bro, this is the first time I've lost to someone in like, in my entire time playing ranked. What the fuck? You destroyed me. What happened? I was like, I broke it good. Basically, I was like, I mean, if you want to play again, we can play again. It seemed like you had a basic idea of what you were doing, but I don't think you've ever actually played this game. It just seems like you've played fighting games in general. And so we played a bit, and like we did like a party chat. Is that what they're called in PlayStation? The like voice call that you can do. And they were like, bro, you're a dude? I thought you were a girl by your name. It's like, bro is catfishing out here. I'm like, what? What? First of all, just because I have a Chan doesn't mean I'm a woman. But second of all, I'm not trying to catfish anybody. I'm just Soran. Leave me alone. I just like how Sauron and Chan rhyme. Hey, what's up, Cressil? Hope you're having a good one. Cressel? Cressil. Cressel. I don't, you tell me. Chat, for the record, I'm mid-20s. I am mid-20s. Hey, doormat, thank you. Appreciate it. Are you into people stepping on you? Is that why you're the doormat? Or are you a Bang Dreamer and you know what doormatting is? Because if you know what doormatting is in Bang Dream, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've been there. What was that alert? Did somebody do something on on YouTube? What was that sound? I have no idea what happened. What up, Octo? I barely know anything about Bang Dream except the music. Oh, okay. So in Girls Band Party, which is the mobile game for the Bang Dream franchise, it's a rhythm game. Right? So, what is happening? What are these noises? Are people becoming members? Is that what's happening? Anyway, if you are becoming a member, I appreciate the $1. Thank you. But in Bang Dream Girls Band Party, which is the mobile game, which is a rhythm game, there's something called tiering, which is where you are going for a certain rank in the events. So every like period you have an event where everybody can play and you get event points for playing songs. And depending on how many points you get a tier. So like number 1 player is the person who has the most points, right? And then it goes down from there. And so like there are certain tiers which are like, 1 through 10, and then like top 100, top 1000, top 10,000, etc., right? Like it goes like that. I think they've added a lot more since then, but those are the basic ideas. But there was something called Versus Lives, where basically normally what happens is when you play together with people, you play in groups of 5, right? Like you go into rooms and you play 5 with 5 total players. And so the total room score makes you get more points, is the typical way the game works. In a Versus Live, only your individual score matters, and then your score in that room that you are playing in versus the 4 other players gives you more points if you're number 1. Like, whoever scores the most in their room gets more points. So basically, it's a game. Versus Lives are where if you've spent money on the game and have the best units, you do better. And it's not like an enormous difference, but it's like a noticeable difference. And so doormatting was when you're playing in these Versus Lives and somebody is trying to tier high, like T10 or T100 or whatever, like they're trying to get a good score. And doormatting is where everybody else in the room is helping play, but they are actively not getting first. Like they are actively choosing to score lower than that person to make sure that they get the number 1 bonus. So that's doormatting. The reason I know so much about this, and I saw the question of what was the most I did in Bang Dream or something like that. I wonder if I still have the screenshot. I used to be a extreme whale in Bang Dream Girls Band Party. Okay, chat. This is like hidden Sauron lore for the Genshin fans. But anybody who's been here since I used to be a translator for Bang Dream knows this. Do I have this screenshot anywhere? It's somewhere. I stopped playing Bang Dream after the game stopped working on Android. Okay, I might have to like export this file real quick. I see it's saved as a thing, but hold on, I can do this. Which it stopped working. I forget, honestly. I forget what event it was. It was like a little over a year ago, though. Here, I'll just export this and we can look at this. Here you go, chat. This was my legacy in Bang Dream Girls Band Party. I got top 10 in the band story 2 for Poppin' Party. I got top 10 for every band that was in the game. And I was the #1 player for that Prelude replay event. And then rank 300 was because that was the highest level at the time. So I reached max level 2. And I was like, I'm done. I also have a T10 for what was that event called? The one that was like live replay. It was like the concert one with like Ron, Yukina, and Kasumi or something. Viva La Live. I also have T10 Viva La Live. But yeah, there you go. All right, I'm a little behind, chat. What are we reading? What are people saying? What was your first gacha game you experienced? My first gacha game was, I mean, I played a lot of random like throwaway games. Like I think I played Honkai Impact back in the day, but my phone couldn't run it. Like really, really back in the day. I'm talking like 2015, 16 or some shit. Phone couldn't run it, so I couldn't play it. It was a cool game though. I think like the first gacha game I played and recognized as a gacha game was Fire Emblem Heroes. And I played a good chunk of Fire Emblem Heroes. There was a lot of Fire Emblem Heroes. I played up until Bunny Sharina, Easter Sharina came out, and then I didn't get her, even though I spent like 100 orbs or something on her. I was like, I'm done. This game is trash. This game is absolute ass. Which is funny because I was playing well enough. And I was free to play, by the way. I was free to play, and I had like strong enough units that I was ranking like tier 19, tier 20, which is like, those were the 2 highest tiers you could do. Tier 20 being the highest tier. I was like oscillating between tier 19 and tier 20 depending on just the rotation. I was like, fuck this. Like, I didn't get my Easter Sharina. I didn't get Bunny Arena. I'm done. And that's how I found Bang Dream, by the way. I uninstalled Fire Emblem Heroes. I was on the Play Store. I found Bang Dream. I was like, I've never really played a rhythm game before. I could try this. That's how that happened. This is some Sauron lore. There's a lot of Sauron lore. People sometimes comment on like, oh, like thank you for doing subtitles, and like, of course, you're welcome. I always do subtitles. I always do captions. I feel like I don't want to say it's not hard because it does take effort. Like it takes me maybe at least an hour, usually like 2 hours, depending on the video, to do them. Maybe even 3 hours. I think it took me 3 hours for the latest Spiral Roulette, but I was also doing it on stream, so like it was a lot slower than it could have been. Anyway, like it does take effort, but like I feel like it's not an enormous amount of effort, and it just like makes it so much more accessible to so many more people, right? Did you know, chat, that like 30% of my viewers watch with closed captions? Which is like a shocking number to me. So like, yeah, I'm not going to stop using them. I assume like a lot of those folks are also people who aren't necessarily native English speakers. Like maybe it just helps them understand words that I'm saying that maybe aren't familiar. Or like if I'm talking too quickly, then you can just like read it, right? So I'm sure it's not just like people who are like hard of hearing or maybe have processing issues. Like it's also just like if you're learning the language, it also helps, right? Did you try Epic 7 or AFK Arena? Nope. I think the only gacha games I've played are Fire Emblem Heroes, Hoyoverse, Bang Dream, Project Sekai, Blue Archive. Is that it? I think that's it. There might be like one or two scattered ones. I wanted to play Princess Connect, but I was like excited to play that with my friends on the EN release, and then they fucking played it without me. And I was like, well, fuck you too, assholes. And then I didn't play it at all, and then it like closed out anyway, so like who cares? Oh, I played School Idol Festival All-Stars on release. I was a big Kanata and Ayumu fan. And then we all see how that one turned out. Thinking of hiring someone to do the captions part? I thought about it, but like I feel like the way I do my captions is like particular to me. I like how I do my captions, right? I feel like I would need somebody who captures my caption energy. Because if you've watched with my captions on, you know that my captions are very very particular. They're very particular. I don't know how to phrase it other than they're quirky. Happy birthday, sorry I was late. Nah, no worries. Thank you. Appreciate the happy birthdays. Is my mic in a weird spot? I'm like leaning in my chair and like turned around, so. What the reason I brought up captions is because I used to be a fan subber for Bang Dream. Little known fact is that I know a decent chunk of Japanese. Like I can watch stuff without subtitles. So it was like, well, I could probably do fan subs for this franchise. And I did. Hakanai subs. That was me for a while. I never did like particularly popular content though, so like I don't think most people in Bang Dream necessarily knew who I was. I only did like Poppin' Party stuff, and like even among that I was doing like radio shows, which very few people cared about. And then my YouTube channel got nuked, and I was like, I'm done. I was like, ain't no fucking way I'm doing this anymore. That fucking destroyed my motivation. I was so upset. I was like, all we're trying to do is help your content reach a wider audience. What is wrong with you? We wouldn't even mind if you just took our subtitles and threw them on your videos. Awful, awful, awful. But yeah, fan subbing is a interesting experience. Any other questions, chat? Rip your former channel, all the people that did OnStars fan subbing. Damn, bro. Real. If OnStars is the one that has the white bitch forest, right? Like, that's the only thing I know about that. There was an event that was titled something the white birch forest or whatever, but like the type fonting, the what is it called, typesetting, the font for the title was so bad that it looked like white bitch forest. So funny. Hey, thanks for joining the membership. What did that? I can't. Oh wow, this is so delayed. Was that what those sounds were before? Wow, wow, it's so delayed. Thanks for joining the membership, y'all. Appreciate it. That's so funny. That's so delayed. We heard the sounds like 10 minutes ago. What made you a Yoimiya main? This is an interesting story. I might have answered this before on different streams, but... So, Yoimiya, when she was first leaked, or first, like, announced, I was excited because I wanted a new Pyro main DPS. Like, at the time, my only DPS was Ganyu and Keqing. Because my account was very young. I didn't really build characters. I wasn't, like... So, to give you context, right? I didn't build Bennett until version 2. I think I built Bennett after I built Yunjin. Okay? Like, if that gives you any context, I built Bennett after I built Yunjin. I built Xingqiu after I built Yelan. I built Xiangling after Sumeru came out. Like, this is kind of like... This is why I'm very much against meta. It's like, it doesn't matter. Who cares? Just play who you want to play. But, like, I was that player, right? Like, I gave zero crap about the meta. I did not build any of the meta characters. I still don't have Chongyun totally built. He just got to level 80, like, 2 weeks ago or something. Etc, etc. So... when Yoimiya was first released, or like first announced to be released, I was excited for a Pyro DPS, and I was also excited just because like my friend Emmy is like a C6 Ganyu main, right? And like I really like Ganyu, but like I was excited to play co-op stuff with like 2 different characters, right? Like I wanted us to have that kind of like, yo, this is gonna be super cool, right? Like we can play like 2 DPSs who actually have synergy, because like I'll get melt off of your burst, etc, etc, stuff like that, right? It was just like an exciting concept. But like Yoimiya herself, like the design was like cute, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I love her. And like I didn't know about her lore or whatever. I did think her normal attack animations were super fucking cool, so I was like, okay, I'm excited for this character. But she wasn't like instant brain rot. And then the reason that like she became my favorite, it's so weird because I did her like when Inazuma dropped, I did her story quest, etc. Instantly became like a top 5 character, but she was like number 3, right? Like I liked her best after Ganyu and Amber. She was number 3. And then I don't know what it is, but as I kept building her, as I kept playing her, as I kept thinking about her story, and like as I played the rest of the Inazuma Archon quest and realized that Yoimiya is the only person in all of fucking Inazuma who has an answer to what eternity is, I was like, no, this girl's incredible. And like, it was this weird period where like Yoimiya was my number 3 favorite, and then she became my number 2 favorite, and then I liked her and Ganyu about the same amount, and then by the time a year had passed, I was like, no, she's my favorite character, and I have no idea what happened. I don't know where and why, but somehow she became my favorite, and then it just like kept snowballing. Like then I was like, but nobody else likes Yoimiya, so I have to like her more. I have to like her enough to make up for all the people who don't like Yoimiya. It's just brain rot, like actually was like cancer in my head. Like it just kept spreading. So yeah, I to be honest, the answer is I don't know. The answer is truly, I don't know what happened. She just infected my brain. And then we got Story Quest 2, and I was just like, finally, justice for Yoimiya. Now give me a skin. Who is your main except Yoimiya? Ganyu, Nahida. Main is hard to say, because really it's just like, I use a Yoimiya team, and then I use whatever the fuck I need to use on the other team in Spiral. And I don't do open world exploration. If I do open world stuff, I'm building a friendship team, or I'm doing like the Archon quest, and in that case, I'm just using Traveler plus 3 characters who move fast. So like Wanderer, Yelan, Kira. Which I wouldn't call those my mains per se. Well, I mean, Yelan is a main just because I use her with Yoimiya, but... if we're talking like characters that I want to use and are dedicated to using, Yoimiya, Ganyu, Nahida, Navia. That's probably it. Is the only person from Inazuma asking you about your sibling. Yoimiya is best girl. Yoimiya is a good character. She is very sweet. I don't know what happened, but like at some point, I just became a big Genki character fan. Genki meaning like energetic, hyper characters, like the characters who are always smiling and laughing and having a good time. Because like I also like, excuse me, like other brain rot characters are like I really like Uzuki from Idolmaster, Cinderella Girls, Shimamura Uzuki. Like, if you were to ask me who my favorite character in anime is, it's probably Uzuki. I think that would be my answer. Like, I really, really like Uzuki. And like Uzuki and Yoimiya have some similarities. Not a huge amount of similarities, but like they have like the same outlook on life, I guess. Yoimiya is all just about like just talk about things, like just talk through the problems, just have fun. Kids should be protected. It's okay. Uzuki's all just about like, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to smile. I'm going to make other people happy. I'm just going to do my best. It's just like I like characters who have that positive mentality of just like, I'm going to put good things out into the world and good things are going to happen. And the world is good. The world is right. I from Love Live really looks like Yoimiya. She does. She really does. I think that's why people assume, like, when I talk about Nijigasaki, that, like, I'd be an Ai fan. But, like, no. I'm a Kanata and Ayumu fan. Like, I think Ai and Yoimiya are very similar. But I don't know. Yoimiya, I like Yoimiya because of her context in Genshin. And also brain rot. I think I gaslit myself into liking Yoimiya as much as I do. Alright, chat. Well, those are some frequently asked questions. I want to do something a little bit fun. I don't know. I still haven't figured out what we're going to do exactly, right? But what I figured we could do is we could do a tier list. Okay, chat? And you can tell me what tier list we should do of. All right. Should I change the music to something a little more excited? Let's do that. I don't know what to change it to. Maybe like this. Character designs or character stories? Best Yoimiya supports? Best Yoimiya supports actually sounds interesting. I feel like there are a lot of characters who you wouldn't necessarily think to use with Yoimiya, but are actually surprisingly okay. But there are also a lot of characters I don't have, so like... we can do Yoimiya supports, and then maybe we can do character designs after. We can do multiple, I mean, we've got time. I ain't in a rush. There was a comment. There were multiple comments because I said baby girl in the latest Spiral Roulette at the beginning of floor 9 because I was like, all right, baby girl, let's see what you got or something like that. And the comments were like, why do you call us baby girl? Like, bro, I was talking to Yoimiya. All right. Best Yoimiya supports, huh? This music's a little loud. Let me turn it down just a bit. Bro, if you want me to call you baby girl, I can call you baby girl. Chat, you're my baby girl. You're my little pog champ, okay? Okay, best Yoimiya supports. Traveler. Depending on which Traveler version we're talking about, things change. Geo sucks. Anemo is usable, but like hard. You can get, like, for instance, if you swirl like Hydro or Cryo, you can kind of get some like weird melt comps or vaporize comps, but it's not very good. She's like Traveler is probably better as a Dendro, like discount Nahida for Burgeon comp, which is okay. It is not bad. So like I wouldn't put her in S tier, but like A tier, I'll give it to them. Decent for a Dendro comp or Burgeon comp. Not, you could do it for like other comps, but not great. Amber, C6 Amber is probably A tier, but otherwise she's not very helpful to Yoimiya. Like you get Pyro Resonance, you have a taunt, which is nice. But like the big things are C6 gives you that like attack buff, that speed up. And then you can play her with like a Noblesse and it's like okay. But like default Amber, like just having a taunt is not very helpful, and you don't care about her burst at all, so she really doesn't have that much utility. Just play a shield. Kaya is actually also not very helpful for Yoimiya, which is surprising because you would think, oh, Kaya, like melt comp Yoimiya. Kaya does not hit things at the range you need to hit with Yoimiya. Like, Kaya needs to be in the enemy's face to be applying his burst to them. Yoimiya ideally is not within hitting range of the enemy in the first place. So like they just like don't work together. If you are using like a team where you are in their face, like you have godlike shields and for some reason you just want to do this, you can do it. Like for instance, you could do like excuse me. You could do like Kaya, Barbara, Layla as like a free-to-play comp, and that's okay. That's actually not bad, but it's not ideal. So I wouldn't personally do it. I'll give him B, but he's not, you really shouldn't be using him. I got best girl Yoimiya, let's go! Let's go! Lisa. A burst DPS Lisa or sub DPS Lisa is okay if you're doing an overload comp, but she's like the worst overload member of the possible members. Like she's worse than Beidou, she's worse than Fischl, she's worse than Raiden. She is the worst overload comp member. She's worse than Chevros, and Chevros isn't even Electro. So like Lisa unfortunately does not do like literally anything for Yoimiya. She is just, and Overload Yoimiya isn't even good, right? Like Overload Yoimiya is probably like the worst form of Yoimiya you can run. I think Overload Yoimiya is literally worse than Mono Pyro Yoimiya, which is so sad. Overload is so bad. They really need to buff Overload. And it's been buffed. Overload is buffed. And it's been extra buffed with Chevros, and it's still not good. It's still not good. Barbara, I'll give somewhere, it's like B or A. She's not like great, but like she's just a healer who is a Hydro healer, which is always great. I think it's like if we're gonna put Kaya in B, we'll put Barbara in B, because again, this is like Barbara is the pick in very specific situations. For instance, if you're using Kaya. Otherwise, again, it's one of those situations where her skill doesn't reach the enemies. Like you're not applying the Hydro to them, so like you're not getting vaporized. She's just there as a healer then, which sometimes you do need, but it's not ideal. Honestly, I think these two should be moved down here. And maybe these two should be moved down here. Oh, my throat. Chat, I'm dying. It's because I've played like 18 hours of Sekiro on stream or some shit these past 2 days. I should probably do a... Maybe, okay, you know what? Let me do a, let me just do a text of what the heck we're doing, so that people have context if they're just coming in. Ranking Yoimiya's best supports. It's too big. Let me do this all in lowercase. Ah! Come on. There we go. Okay. Razor. What the fuck is Razor gonna do with Yoimiya? Bro, I need an F tier. At least, like, the D tiers are playable. Like, this is literally just useless. What the fuck? What am I gonna do with Razor? Literally useless. Razor can't. What? Tell me a single thing Razor helps with. He's there for moral support? You're right. You're right. My bad. My bad. No, Razor does not help Yoimiya. Xiangling. Xiangling is... Ooh. Xiangling's a weird one. I'll put her in A. I think she can be S depending on what you need her for. But Xiangling fixes a lot of So this is, again, this is a weird one. Xiangling isn't very good. Maybe B, actually. There are some cases where Xiangling, it like fixes a Yoimiya team, because like for instance in 3.7 Spiral Abyss, when we're fighting the Lecter, or not the Lecters, the Abyss, what are they called? They're like the big tall guys. They're not like, the Lecters are the fire ones. The Abyss, I don't know what they're called. But anyway, like enemies who have shields, for instance, like Xiangling does a lot better against them than Yoimiya does. And in like things like mono pyro teams, Xiangling is pretty good. Also, her little attack buff on her skill, like the fact that Guoba drops an attack buff, is like not insignificant. The heralds, thank you. Yeah, Lecters are the pyro ones, heralds are the others. Thank you. Yeah, so there are teams where Xiangling is like an S tier support, and then usually she's like okay. She's like not terrible. She falls into that same camp of like Kaya, like her burst isn't really gonna reach most of the time. It has a bit of a bigger range, so like you can play at a range where Yoimiya is still mostly safe and you're still hitting with Xiangling's burst. Also the fact that it's such a huge burst and hits AoE is just helpful. And then obviously Pyro Res. I don't know if I said that like 3 times already, but Pyro Res. She's good. I would say she is not a bad choice. Beidou, for specifically Overload, she is like maybe the best Overload character. In general, as a Yoimiya support, I'll give her A. Beidou is like really interesting for Yoimiya. Because C1 gives you a shield, and then obviously her burst just in general gives you resistance to interruption. So, and then she gives you an electro follow-up attack. So it's pretty cool. I think Beidou is like one of those really underrated Yoimiya supports. The one issue is that Beidou has some energy recharge problems, so like it's hard to build up her burst. One of the good things about Yoimiya is that Yoimiya doesn't use her burst. Like you can just not use her burst, period, so that Beidou gets some more energy. Not a lot, but like a little bit, which can help. But yeah, no, Beidou does. It's usually best to run 2 Electros if you're running Beidou. Whereas like if you're running Fischl, you can just run Fischl. Or if you're running Raiden, then you can just run Raiden. So I'll give her A. I think she's really good. I mean, we don't have to talk about Xingqiu. we don't have to talk about Xingqiu. Everybody knows that. Ningguang, I don't know. What the fuck are you gonna do with Ningguang? You're gonna run through her little wall? You're just gonna set up her wall and look pretty? Take the screenshots? No, it literally does nothing. Fischl is a godlike support. I think Fischl is, for a free-to-play player too, I think Fischl is like top 3 best Yoimiya supports. Just because Fischl is quick and easy to build. And she's like extremely strong now too with the new set, the one that like Farina uses, the Golden Troop, I think it's called. The one that just buffs like 40 or 60% skill damage or something, which is stupid. And then you give her like a stringless and she has like 100% plus skill damage, which is stupid. It's just like, why did they do this? But yeah, Fischl has like 100% uptime. Her energy rotation is like, she has very low energy requirements. She's a battery, so she just builds energy like crazy. C6 gives her like follow-up attacks on every attack. It's not like once every second, it is every attack, which is like, it's not a huge amount of damage, but like you're getting 15 attacks minimum in a rotation, right? Which is like crazy if you think about it that way. And then Oz is just attacking anyway, so you're still getting those as well. Fischl is crazy. And then she also just has like a convenient length. She has convenient skill length, which is 12 seconds, 12 seconds. 12 second skill, 12 second burst. Well, I mean, her burst is her skill, basically. It's just her skill resummon. And, like, that's... 12 seconds is, like, a really good amount of time for Yoimiya, because usually what you're going to do is have a 15-second rotation. Because Yoimiya's skill is up for 10 seconds. So you basically do your 15-second burst, your 12-second burst. If you have a 10-second burst, you do those. But otherwise, it's just 2 12-second bursts, and then you use Yoimiya's skill. And then your rotation is basically skin tight. It is super tight. So Fischl's really good. Fischl's great. Can I work with physical Yoimiya? Yes, because you can do superconduct Fischl. I would typically do like... I like Mika, just because Mika's Mika. But there are other characters that are... You know, you could do like Layla, if you want a shield. Layla is just... Layla is... I need a tier above S tier, bro. I need my triple S tier. Hey, Macaroni. Welcome and thank you. Appreciate it. Happy Lantern, right? Bennett, I mean... We'll just put him up there. That doesn't need explaining. Y'all know. Okay, Noelle. Noelle is... I'll put her in... How much do I value a shield? I think B. I think just by nature of her having a shield, she is a B. There's nothing super helpful about Noelle with Yoimiya other than the fact that she gives you a shield. It doesn't need explanation. No explanation needed. Well, actually, no, because I think I do need to explain why Layla is triple S tier. I'm gonna put her up there. We'll reach her. Well, I'll wait. Once we reach Layla, I'll explain why Layla is triple S tier, and people don't appreciate that about Layla. People highly underrate Layla for Yoimiya. I think she's crazy. She is unbelievable. Anyway, so Noelle, I mean, Noelle can be really interesting in teams like where you need a shield healer. So like Diona is the apex shield healer, like that is her thing. But like Noelle's shields are stronger, question mark. I say question. Human with the 20 gifties. God damn. God damn. I appreciate that, buddy. Thank you. Holy McMoly. Hey, damn, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate it. Why are my alerts, like, working all of a sudden? Oh, I guess this is just because of the chat, right? Oh, God. Is this gonna, like, double up? Oh, Jesus. Oh, no. Make it stop! Make it stop! Anyway, Geo shields are just like strong because they have like the extra res, etc. Right? So Noelle is good for strictly that reason. She's not great, but she's not. Did I break it? I'm not sure. This is gonna be going on for a while though. So chat, is it too loud? I can turn it down, I think. Somehow. Maybe? I legitimately don't know how to do that. If it's too loud, let me know, chat. I can like turn down the sound for a little bit. Let me know if it's like annoying. But yeah. Noelle is okay just strictly on the fact she's a shield. It's not a great shield though. It like has a really awkward duration for Yoimiya, so like she's like the worst shield you can use, but she is a shield. Chongyun, I don't know how you would use Chongyun with Yoimiya. Chongyun's thing is that he applies like cryo infusion to your weapons, but Yoimiya, it doesn't work for Yoimiya, and then his burst isn't like lingering. It's like that, like the swords going. So like that also isn't lingering. So I mean, you could use him as like a finisher. Like you could get melt Chongyun, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. It's just not that good. I don't see why you would do it. Sucrose. Sucrose is probably A tier. Sucrose is just a crazy free-to-play Anemo character. She's specifically really good in like stuff like Mono Pyro. But like any Anemo character is really good in Mono Pyro. What's the best way to get primos? Spending money. I think like just overworld exploration probably. Just open chests, etc. How many tier lists have you done? This is the first one we're doing. But yeah, Sucrose is also really good as just a battery, so like she can help if you have team members who need more energy. Sucrose can help build that. But overall, yeah, Sucrose, I mean, it's crowd control for a character who really struggles with CC. Sucrose is incredible. Jean is fine. I mean, maybe C. She's mostly just there as a healer, right? She doesn't really have CC ability. And like most of her helpful stuff is like a Nemo shred for Nemo characters, so it's not really helpful to Yoimiya specifically. But I mean, a healer is a healer is a healer, right? D-Luke does nothing. He gives you pyro res. I'll give him D tier just because he gives you pyro res. I mean, Amber's better than these people. I'll give Amber C. C6 Amber. This is specifically C6 Amber, okay? C6 Amber can be C tier. Chi-Chi. Chi-Chi is not the worst. I don't really want to put her in A, but I think she can be B tier. Chi-Chi is a healer, which is nice. If you're playing at the close range of like Barbara, then like you can use her as your freezer. But like more importantly, her burst gives you lingering cryo, which like I don't think it's like very good, but it's like an option. She's not great. She's probably C tier actually. But she's not terrible. Would Jean go higher since Farina is good with Yoimiya? I would not personally use Jean with Farina, because I would use Diona. Because I think team slots are really important, right? And if you're doing Jean, Farina, Yoimiya, you only have one slot left, and it has to be a healer. It has to be a shielder, right? Like ideally, it should be a shielder. And at that point, I would rather go use Diona instead of Jean, and then have 2 slots left, or have an extra slot left. That could be anything, right? Like, it could be Yelan, it could be Bennett, it could be, you know, something else. Is my logic. Hey, what's up, Kanu Show? Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks for dropping by. Mona is really, really good in some comps and really crappy in others. Mona is the showcase character, right? Mona is the character you use for showcases. She's not bad on her own, but like, Mona is more helpful for characters who want a screenshot, like damage screenshot, right? Because her burst doesn't last very long, and specifically when you vaporize it, it like explodes, right? You burst the bubble, and that's where you get the big damage. Happy birthday! Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yoimiya does not have burst damage. Yoimiya is not a single instance of damage. Yoimiya is like a accumulation of a lot of smaller hits. Yoimiya hits you 5 times or 7 times in like 5 seconds, right? So, and that's if you don't have C6. Then she hits you like 10 times. So Mona's not the greatest, but she does give you a vaporized taunt, which is helpful. She's okay. Not the greatest, not the worst. Keqing, I don't know what you would use Keqing with Yoimiya for. Again, most Electro characters are gonna fall here, is what we're gonna find out. Most Electro characters are just gonna be here. Venti is probably S tier? Venti is again just a crazy CC character. Viridescent Venerer set, etc. May I have permission to know how old you are now? I am in my mid-20s. Later mid-20s. We'll leave it at that. Yeah, Venti's really good. Especially with like stuff like, there are a lot of really strong bows. So like Favonius, Elegy, etc. And just as a CC character, he's crazy. I almost want to put him in A just because Venti can't actually move a lot of things these days. A lot of enemies are just immune to Venti's burst, which is stupid. Like, I think that's a horrible game design decision. They're too heavy for Venti to move. And like, it's not an issue of him not being high enough level because my Venti is level 90, which I don't know if you all are old enough, if you've played Genshin long enough to know this, but there was a huge argument to not level Venti up above 80 because then he would move enemies that you didn't want moved. But I'll give him S. I still think he's really, really good. The places where you'll use Venti, he is undeniably very strong. And in some ways better than Kazuha. Happy birthday. Thank you. Thank you, Laura. I appreciate it. Klee. I don't have Klee, so I can't make an informed decision. I don't think she's helpful, though. I don't think Klee does anything in particular for Yoimiya. Does Klee have Pyro Shred? If she has Pyro Shred, I'll give her C. But that might be like a constellation, or that might be only for Klee herself. I feel like she had some form of damage, like defense shred. Is it defense shred? Is it like lingering, or is it just for her? I'll make a new category. I legitimately don't know. I don't know what Klee does. It's lingering? Wait, okay, you know what? We can do Klee B. C2 Klee can B. She can get B. Don't know. Alright. Diona is at least S tier. Diona is crazy. The one weakness for Diona is that her shields aren't very strong, but everything else about Diona is fucking crazy. C6 Diona gives you 200 elemental mastery while also healing you. 200 elemental mastery. 200. By the way, can I express this enough for you? 200. 200. There's no condition. It's just use her burst. 200 elements mastery. Boom. Well, you have to be in it, but it's fucking insane. It's also giving you freeze comp. It's giving you melt. It's absurd. Diona is crazy. The only thing that makes her not triple S tier is the fact her shields are weak. As soon as they make... Do we have an HP bow? I can't think of an HP bow. You would have thought that Yelan's would be an HP bow, but it's crit damage. If we can get like a good recurve, I might have to look into that. I've never looked at a 3-star weapon. That's not true. That might be true. I haven't looked at them in a long time, at least. But yeah, no. If once we get a good HP bow, Diona will be triple S tier. Excuse me. Child doesn't really do much. I mean, I think his like, what are they called? They're not title marks. Whatever his lingering like apply thingy is, it like sometimes does something. He can be like your damage screenshot after you finish using Yoimiya and rotate out, but like why would you use an entire team's Riptide? Thank you. Why would you... Wow, 3 people answered. Like, why would you use an entire team slot for Child? His passive +1 talent for an honorable attack. Yeah, sure. I mean, that's true, I guess. No, he's not useful. Xinyan is a shield and is a pyro character. I think just strictly for that, she's at least C tier. I don't know what Xinyan does, though, so I'm going to put her here. I've never used her. I think she's probably B tier though. If I had to guess, I think she's B tier. But I have no idea what she does. Zhongli can go up to triple S. I mean, we don't have to explain that one. Albedo could die. I don't have him. I don't know him. He's probably F tier, but I don't have him. I don't know him. Ganyu is S tier. A tier? S tier. A tier? S tier. A tier? S tier. She's somewhere here. She's like right in, I don't know which one to put her. I'll put her S. No, I'll put her A. Because like Ganyu burst DPS is like really, really good. It's like surprisingly strong. The problem is that you actually need a lot of energy recharge to use burst DPS Ganyu. Like a lot, and that means that it's hard to build her to do damage that justifies using Ganyu over a character like Fischl or whatever. The reasons you would use a character like Ganyu are you're doing some kind of weird team comp. Like if you're using burst support Ganyu, either you just have crazy energy recharge artifacts, or you're doing some weird ass comp, like you're doing superconduct Yoimiya, you're doing like perma-freeze Yoimiya, like double cryo hydro Yoimiya, which isn't that bad. Well, that's actually not that weird. You could just use Yelan, Layla, Yoimiya, like Ganyu Yoimiya. I've done it before. I do. I'm gonna put her in A just because her energy recharge requirements are rough. I think she could be S, but it's just hard to build her. Yoimiya and Ganyu don't play too nice together, unfortunately. Just because Yoimiya doesn't build much energy, Ganyu needs a lot of energy. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. I also say this as a Ganyu C2 haver. It's still hard for me to build energy, even with the extra skill proc. Like, it's not easy. Xiao, I don't have, but I don't think he does anything for Yoimiya, so I'll put it. I don't know what the fuck he would do. Utao, I don't have, but I don't think she would do anything for Yoimiya. Rosaria is in the same. I would actually maybe S tier. I'm in my mid-20s. I'll put Rosaria in S. I mean, I don't know. I don't think Rosaria is worse than Sucrose and Beto, though. Maybe I should move all of these to S. I think, okay, let me put Rosaria in S, but with this caveat that, like, I don't... personally, Rosaria, to me, is not an S, because you've seen that my Yoimiya has 89% crit, so I can't fully benefit off of 15% crit. I can't finagle my artifacts in a way that makes it so that Yoimiya wants that 15% crit rate. It's just, I can't figure it out. It doesn't quite work where I can get the Rosaria to her full benefit and still maintain my damage with my artifacts. But no, the crit rate is crazy. The fact that she's an easy, quick energy recharge burst, which is a wide AoE, gives you melt, etc. She is really, really good. Really, really good. Yanfei gives you a shield? Pyro Red shield? I'll give her C. I'll give her C strictly on the fact if you have her shield constellation, she gives you a shield and gives you Pyro Res. Otherwise, she's completely useless. But if Ember could be here, Yanfei can be here. Yeah, and Thrilling Tales, you're right. I forget Thrilling Tales exists. She is a Catalyst user too. So yeah, she's usable. She's usable. I think C tier is where they're usable, right? Anything below C tier, you're just like, why are you using them? But C tier is like, I could see it. It's just a weird pick. Like, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's a pick. I don't have Eula, but I don't think she does anything. Kazuha is S tier. Unbelievable support, CC. Huge damage. VV set is crazy. If you have his constellations or his weapon, he gives you enormous buffs. He's crazy. I want to put him in triple S tier, but there are a lot of cases where Kazuha's burst is too short for Yoimiya to take full advantage of. Like, Kazuha has a weird rotation, right? Like, I'm pretty sure what you're supposed to do is you Bennett into Kazuha into Yoimiya. But it's just kind of weird. Ayaka, I don't think does anything, but I'll have her. She's probably pretty good. No, she's not. I don't think she does anything. Does her burst linger? Can you like switch out of her when you do her burst? I have Ayaka's skin, but I don't have Ayaka. Yes? Okay, she might be C tier or B tier. C4 does defense shred. I feel like it's not fair for us to be ranking characters on their helpfulness on their constellations if they're a 5-star. Like, I could talk about how Ganyu has like cryo res shred. I mean, that's helpful, right? Maybe, I don't know. But yeah. Sayu is usable. I mean, she's an Anemo healer. That's about it. Like, she doesn't swirl very helpfully. I don't think she swirls like at all. She gives you like one swirl on her burst. Honestly, no, she's not usable. Never mind. Why would you ever use Sayu with you? I'm like thinking about it. No. Not really. I mean, like, yeah, you can get it. Sure, we'll give her V strictly because you get VV, but she's not giving you CC. She's healing you, but like, just use a different healer, bro. Aloy is usable. She has some lingering cryo apply. That's about as much as I can give her. she has like a tiny bit of lingering. I don't know though. She might melt herself. She might get her melt. So maybe she isn't usable. I don't know how that. I would have to lab that. No, she's probably not usable. Now that I'm thinking about it, she probably steals them. Well, I don't know. It depends on how because if you're using her with Yelan or Xingqiu, you usually have a Hydro Aura. And so when the Cryo procs, she probably does freeze them. I think she's usable. She's not good, but like looking at this list, if these characters are usable, Alloy's usable. Sarah does not do anything for Yoimiya. Yoimiya doesn't snapshot, so it just doesn't help. Raiden is... I'll give... This one's hard. I'll give her a... because she buffs Yoimiya's sub DPSs. But I don't... Okay. This depends... Let me say this. This depends on if you're using Thundering Pulse or not, because Raiden's energy recharge buff is actually super fucking annoying for Yoimiya if you have Thundering Pulse. I get very angry because I get like so much energy. I'm just like, stop! I need to not have full energy. For me, she's B. She might even be C. She's so annoying. But I think in an Overload team, and the fact that she buffs your sub DPSs is crazy. You aren't really using her burst too much, unless there's just like an enemy that Yoimiya struggles against that Raiden has a better shot against. But yeah, no, she's helpful. She's helpful. Kokomi is probably A. Fact that she has a lingering on-field healing that gives Hydro apply is super duper duper helpful. And on the teams that you're using Yoimiya for, there are a lot of times where Kokomi can fill in a niche that other characters can't. Like if you're in a Spiral Abyss where you need to break a Pyro shield, for instance, or beat a Pyro enemy, you can just switch to like Yelan bursting for Kokomi and then Kokomi burst. And it's like not bad. It is very usable. Toma's A tier. Weak shields, but he gives you huge buffs. He's Pyro. He gives you 15% plus normal attack damage. He's Pyro. He's Pyro. He's good. The only thing is that his shields are... he should probably be S tier. We'll give him S tier. If Diona's S tier, well... yeah, no, if Diona's S tier, he can be S tier. Fuck you, Goro. Ito probably doesn't do anything, but I don't have him. Yunjin is... I'm gonna put Yunjin in S tier because you have to have another Geo character. You have to have another Geo character. You cannot tell me that you can just build energy recharge Yunjin. I have like 250% ER percent on Yunjin solo, and she can't do it. It's just not possible, bro. She just cannot build enough energy. Not on her own. So like she would be triple S, but you need a second Geo. But if you have Zhongli, if you have Navia, those are both really good options. I'm sure there's like a cope team where you can use Noelle too, but I wouldn't do that personally. Happy birthday. Thank you. I appreciate it. Shanhe gives you a lingering on-field cryo apply. That's about it. That's about it. Not much else. That's about it. Yae is probably A tier. The fact that her skill damage is enormous. You can buff it further as well with like stuff like the Golden Troop, etc. And and she's so unbelievably easy. You just rotate out. And then there are cases where maybe you just need the electro burst, just burst, rotate out. Yai is crazy. Yai is an unbelievable character. Yai is one of those characters that people said is like when Yai dropped, people were really disappointed. But she is really strong. Same with Kazuha. People thought Kazuha sucked, and then he turned out to be like maybe the best character in the game. Kazuha is in contention for best character in the game. I don't think he is the best character in the game, but he's in the conversation. Like I would say like Furina, Nahida, Yelan, those are better characters in the game, but go to sleep. Go to sleep. Stop. Go away. Ayato, I don't have him, but I don't think he does anything. Yelan, triple S tier. We don't have to talk about it. Yelan is Yelan. Yelan is like, bro. Bro, Yelan is here. Let's be real. There's like never a team where this is not optimal. Like there's very rarely a team where this is not optimal. Yelan is in a tier of her own for Yoimiya support. She is the best Yoimiya support. Period. There's no other character who is better than Yelan. Shinobu. If you're in the range where you could do like over vape. You could do over vape with Barbara and Shinobu. She's not good. She's not very helpful, but you know, it's possible. Heijo doesn't really do anything, I don't think. Collei, I'll put her in B tier. Collei is a surprisingly strong sub DPS. If you build her right, she actually does quite a lot of damage. But the problem is that her Dendro apply isn't very good even at C6. So she's not really good for Burgeon. She's just kind of like, you can kind of get away with her being a Burgeon character. So like, she's usable. She's not bad. She would not be my first pick. Actually, that's not technically true. She usually is my first pick in videos because I don't want people saying, oh, you're just carried by Nahida. Which is why you don't see Nahida in a lot of those videos. But not my first pick. Tighnari does not do literally anything. He's an on-field DPS. He does not want to help Yoimiya. Funko, thank you. I appreciate it. Hope you're having a good one. Dori is better than you would expect. She gives you an electro follow-up attack. She heals you. She has some on-field. She's better than you'd expect, but she's not good. I mean, B tier is probably cope, but I think she's better than people give her credit for, at least for Yoimiya. I don't think Candace does literally anything. She might give you like a normal attack damage bonus, maybe? I think her burst does something vaguely helpful, but like I don't think it helps Yoimiya. I guess she's a Hydro character, so I'll put her in D. She's at least a Hydro character. I don't know Saito, I don't think he does anything. I don't have Nilou, I don't think she does anything. Nahida is... I'll put her in triple S. Nahida is the Burgeon character. If you have Nahida, you can use Burgeon. If you don't have Nahida, she's like... Burgeon is like still usable, but not nearly as good. But like Nahida is unbelievably crazy. The fact that she can give you Elemental Mastery is just... It's fucked up. She's crazy. She's unbelievable. Oh my god, we finally did it. Okay, Layla. Layla is unbelievable. People don't understand how strong Layla is, okay? Okay, so first of all, First of all, Layla has the second strongest shield. She has the strongest free-to-play shields. Except maybe for Kira with 5 stacks. And Toma with max stacks. But like on activation, Layla has the easiest and strongest shields. Okay? So that's number 1. Already that makes her S tier. Just the fact that her skill is a shield that is 12 seconds long and is the second strongest on activation with no energy requirements makes her really good for Yoimiya. Just that alone. 2, if you have C6, she gives you like a random attack buff on like one of your random normal attacks. It's like maybe helpful sometimes. It's not really that good. We don't really talk about it, but it exists. It's there. 3, her burst is unbelievably good. She has some weird incidental synergy. The fact that she's a cryo character is huge, but she has incidental synergy in the fact that like, if you don't know, when you apply cryo to Dendro, it creates a weird in-game mechanic where it like preserves the Dendro mechanic or Dendro apply a little bit. The Dendro aura has like a little few more ticks, which is to say that it's called Fridge. If you look up Fridge mechanics in Genshin, you'll find what I'm talking about. But she has weird incidental synergy with Nahida, and so you can run like these 4, which is a team. This is my go-to Burgeon team. And then she's giving you Melt. She is a great CC character because of that, because you're always going to be running you're basically always going to be running Vaporize Yoimiya. She's good. She's really good. Unbelievably good. She's the best free-to-play shield for Yoimiya. IMO. Also, she doesn't need constellations, which is also huge. C0 Layla is like just as good as C6 Layla. C6 Layla does like nothing. Does virtually nothing. Farazan, I don't think does really anything for Yoimiya at all. Hooray, you have extra Anemo damage. Good for you. Wanderer does not do anything for Yoimiya. He is a main DPS. He has no lingering on-field shit. Completely useless. Yao Yao is a surprisingly good Dendro character for Burgeon. She has a on-field lingering or off-field lingering Dendro apply. She heals you. That's about it, but like that's good enough. Alhaitham. I don't think Alhaitham does anything. Dehya is usable. She gives you resistance interruption. She's pyro res. She heals you. She's usable. Is she good? Not really, but sometimes you just need, like, it's in the same case in Xiangling, where sometimes you just need the extra help breaking shields. And like the fact that Dehya gives you like follow-up attacks is helpful. She's not great, but she's okay. Mika's crazy. Mika's crazy. Hey, thank you. Appreciate it, Alice. Hope you have a good one. The fact that Mika's skill gives you fucking attack speed up is just wild. Attack speed up is really, really good for Yoimiya in particular. Because Yoimiya, like, she's just crazy. She's just crazy. It just makes her faster. Like, the biggest thing about Yoimiya is that she needs to reach the end of her attack string as quickly as possible, because her biggest damage is in her 3rd and her 5th hits of her normal attack string. So if you get interrupted before your 3rd and your 5th hits, she's doing like half as much damage as she should be. So Mika is just helpful in that regard. He's also a cryo character, which, I mean, he doesn't really have a cryo apply per se, so it's not like super great, but it helps. And he's also a healer, so he's quite good. He's also cracked for superconduct. If you're trying to build a cope superconduct Yoimiya team, which by the way, future video at some point, he's good. He's very good. Kaveh does not do anything for Yoimiya. He doesn't have an off-field apply. Yeah, that's it. I think Baiju is probably really good, but I don't have him. He's probably at least B tier. I think he has an off-field Dendro apply. I don't really know, to be honest, but I think he does. If he does, he's at least B tier, probably A or S. Because he's a healer as well. But I don't know. Kira. Hello. I'll give her S tier. Kira shields can be pretty strong, but if you just activate them, they're pretty weak. This is the problem with Kira with Yoimiya, is that it makes your rotations kind of awkward. I still have not figured out where you're supposed to do Kira exactly. So like, because you have to like hit enemies 5 times to get her full strength shield. And it's just like, I don't know when I'm gonna fit that into a rotation. So like, that's annoying. At C6 though, she gives you like attack, like just damage buff. She's straight up a damage buff for 12%. And at C4, she gives you a follow-up attack. So she can give you Burgeon. Her burst gives you an on-field Dendro apply, like a lingering one. It's not great, but it exists. It's there. And of course, the fact that she's a Dendro shield means that if you pair her with like Naida, you get the EM buff from Dendro Resonance. She's a really, really cool character. I think she's like, Kira is my favorite character to theory craft with, because I think there's a lot there. I think if you're trying to find a way to like make Yoimiya with a weird team, Kira is probably the answer. How do I know when you'll go live? Will a notification be sent or something? I don't know how it works on YouTube. I don't think so. I think you just have to see that I've scheduled a stream. I don't really stream on YouTube though. If you want to watch me stream, you should come to the Twitch channel. And if you have the app, or if you set it up so that it sends to your email, you can get notified that way. However, Twitch sucks at that, so actually the best way is probably I mean, this sounds like I'm just plugging it, but literally probably the best way to be notified if I'm streaming is the Discord server has a channel that tells you when I'm doing things. Like it tells you when there's an update, like if I've uploaded a video or if I'm streaming somewhere. That is probably the best way. But yeah. Lynette, I haven't played with a Lynette enough. I think she's B tier, because she doesn't really have a great. She's not super great at crowd control. She's more like a Nemo sub DPS. But I mean, she's in a Nemo sub DPS, so like that's fine. Depending on your team composition, she's probably better or worse. She wouldn't be my first pick, but she's definitely usable. I haven't played enough with her to really say. I don't think she's better than B tier though. I don't think she's that good for Yoimiya. Linny is not okay. So Linny and Yoimiya should not ever be on the same team. If you're using one, you should not be using the other. Why do I say that? Because when I did that video of the Mono Pyro team and I had both of them, I was just like, why would I ever use Linny when I could just use Yoimiya? Because my Linny was not well built and my Yoimiya was very well built. So I was just like, my DPS is just dropping like a rock. I mean, there are arguments where you could use both of them just so that Linny cleans up the scraps. Like he cleans up all the AoE, all the mob enemies, and then Yoimiya is the boss killer. But like that just seems like such an unfocused and bad team. I guess you could do like a Mono Pyro, like within a Nemo character like Kazuha. And like Bennett, like Kazuha, Bennett, Linny, Yoimiya. Like that's, I mean, you could do it. But I'll give him C tier. He's like, he exists, but like I don't know why you would ever do it. Frem does not do anything for Yoimiya. Frem is like kind of a main DPS, right? I think he is. No, he's just straight up is a main DPS. He's a cryo main DPS or cryo fizz DPS. So like, He just doesn't play nice with Yoimiya because Yoimiya wants to be main DPS. I don't have Novi. I don't think he does anything for Yoimiya. I don't have Rice. I don't think he does anything for Yoimiya. Charlotte is a very strong off-field cryo apply who gives you healing. That's about it. But she's really good just for that. Farina is triple S tier. Farina is just one of the strongest units in the game. She is unbelievably good. She is basically hydroficial in the fact that she has an off-field attack that hits occasionally, but also she like gives you Bennett level buffs, and also she can be a healer if you want her to be a healer. She's just it's a hydro apply, so you get vaporized. She's crazy. She is unbelievable. Navia is interesting. I really want to put her in S tier if I'm being realistic about it. Okay, if I'm being realistic about it, she's probably like A or B. She's probably B tier for Yoimiya specifically. But hear me out, okay? If you're like me, this is the team I've been running recently. This shit's crazy. This team is unbelievable. This team is so good. This team is crazy good. Because Navia has so much, like her double skill, and the fact that she's a battery. Like she just builds shit tons of energy for no reason. So like she fixes Yunjin's problems. And then she has an off-field burst geo apply. She gives you shields. Like she is surprisingly good. I'm gonna put her in A. I think she is actually like really good for Yoimiya. Surprisingly really good. Chevros is... I haven't played around with Chevros. She's probably A tier for Overload. She's probably S tier or triple S for Overload. But for the fact that she gives you an Overload comp, I'll put her in A tier. She's a healer, which is cool. She gives you pyro damage buff and electro damage buff, so she's just great for Overload. But the fact that she's an Overload character means... why would you run Overload? I like running Overload, but it's not very good. You have to run Overload with the knowledge that you're playing suboptimally. But she's really strong for Overload. For Overload, she's triple S. She's like, you should be running her. And then I don't have either of these characters. I don't think Gaming does anything for Yoimiya. And I don't think Shan Yun does anything for Yoimiya either. No, I don't think so. But that's it. So this is the Yoimiya support tier list. Yeah. Is there anything I egregiously disagree with? I don't think so. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I might bump Sucrose up to S. That's like the one thing I'm like, maybe that should be S tier, but I don't know. What's up, Shokomon? Welcome. Well, there you go. Chat, if you actually want, like, if you're ever actually curious about how to build Yoimiya, though, how to build a team for Yoimiya, I have a guide on my channel. You should watch that. It's my best video. That's my best video. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. But that video goes into a lot more detail than I can here. That took a while. There are a lot. I feel like Yoimiya. The fact that Yoimiya is a. Hey, thanks for joining the membership. I appreciate it, Shokomon. The fact that Yoimiya is like a sub DPS driver, like she's a driver, right? So that any sub DPS, I can't talk. Any sub DPS character is like not terrible with Yoimiya because Yoimiya is just she's driving the car. Just Jesus take the wheel. So really, I think Yoimiya is a very flexible character. There are just a ton of ways you can build her and a ton of ways you can play her. So have fun. Point being, you can build a team with just about anything. Just know what you're doing, have fun with them, go for it. Yoimiya is cool. Why don't you have more subscribers? I don't know. To ask YouTube. Maybe if more people liked and subscribed. I'm kidding. I don't know. I mean, I don't make videos very often. That's probably the problem. Well, what's actually the problem is whenever I make a video that isn't Spiral Roulette, it like bombs. That's like the real problem. So if you want my channel to do better, watch the videos that aren't Spiral Roulette. There you go. Ball's in your court, YouTube. Ball is in your court. They don't bomb. They don't bomb. I'm kidding. They just don't do as well. Which makes sense. I mean, Spiral Abyss is something that almost every Genshin player does. Well, not almost every Genshin player. A lot of Genshin players do. Alright, chat. I think I'm going to sign off. I think we've had our fun. I'm going to go eat some lunch because I'm hungry. I woke up late and rolled out of bed and was like, oh god, I got to stream. So, I want to go eat some food. But yeah, thanks for dropping by, chat. I appreciate you. Come by the Twitch channel, join the Discord server. Appreciate all the memberships, and the dono. And I'll catch you all when I catch you. Bye, chat. Bye.